A very warm welcome to the parents and the students to the Asst Institute of International Studies, Gurgaon. We are direct academic partners to various universities for MBBS abroad, Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Philippines, Mauritius, and many more countries of such kind who provide MBBS abroad. Today, we are really privileged to have the faculty from the ARMA College in Philippines, Asst Institute of International Studies, being academic partners to various universities, help the student from the application process till the end, that is till the visa. And we being direct academic partners, our support to the student remains for the entire 6 years program for MBBS. Even after coming in India, we help them in supporting them for the job placement. As we ourselves have built up 70+ hospitals from the mainstream, that is our Asst Hospital and Healthcare Consultants. I feel privileged to welcome Ronaldo, who is the faculty with the ARMA College of Medicine, Philippines. Our query session and the question answer round shall start in the end. So please, dear parents, keep yourself mute so that the process and the webinar can go smoothly. If there is any question that you feel in between the webinar you would like to ask, please feel free to drop that in the chat box rather than unmuting yourself and asking the question from the faculty himself. Over to you, sir.
All right, is that supposed to be me or who's supposed to stay? Oh, that's me. Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Okay. It's actually this is my second time joining a webinar through Udin Rakib. Okay. He's one of our graduating students. And anyway, okay, as mentioned already, I am Dr. Santamina. I am actually the Vice Dean or Assistant Dean of the AMA or School of Medicine in the Philippines. And it's actually located in Makati, which is one of the prime districts or business districts in the Philippines. And I besides being part of the administration, I also teach neurology, okay, in our school. And anyway, okay, so that's it. That's all about me. And if you have any questions, you can ask that later.
Sir, would you like to tell us something about ARMA School of Medicine in Philippines regarding MBBS? Any question, anything you would like to elaborate about the college? I mean, anything, sir. The parents and students are really curious to know more about the college.
Okay. Well, first of all, the AMA School of Medicine is one of the, I guess, youngest medical schools in the Philippines. Currently, there are about maybe 50 or 60+ medical schools, and more are in the process of application. All right, so maybe they will open, I don't know, maybe next school year or whatever. But anyway, AMA School of Medicine was founded or was established in 2004. All right, so we've been here in existence for how many years now? 2004, 2014, and then 6, so that's 16, 17. All right, that's why I'm a doctor. Okay, that's the reason why I'm not an engineer. I'm not a mathematician or whatever. But anyway, okay, so we've been here for a while now. Okay, and AMA School of Medicine is just one of the schools of AMA education system. The AMA education system actually was established in 1980. So it's been a while, okay? Now, it is owned by a family, all right? And this is just one of those stories that we heard, okay? The family matriarch, okay, or the head matriarch of the family wanted to establish a medical school. All right, and because at that time they basically their focus was on computers. All right, so they established a computer school, and then it expanded, and then eventually they started, establishing other courses, right? So like management, hotel and restaurant management, or tourism, or so many. All right, and then again, the family matriarch wanted to have a medical school. Basically, she was saying, or we heard that she was telling the family members, you know what, I want to have a medical school. All right, and then she's an educator. She was a teacher, and but still, she, even though she was not a doctor, she wanted to have a medical school. So anyway, they established Ama School of Medicine in 2004, and then they even branched out to Bahrain. Okay, I heard, of course, I've been with Ama only for 8 years, so I don't know exactly what happened there. But they had a branch in Bahrain, but for some reason they ended up, closing it. I don't know for what reason. Maybe maybe low enrollment or whatever, or difficulty with managing it. Anyway, they decided to focus only on the main, okay, which is the Makati branch. And of course, at that time, they only had like maybe what, 5 faculty members, because the students were mainly scholars, okay, Filipino scholars from different provinces or areas in the Philippines. And then eventually they started, expanding and expanding and expanding. And when I joined in 2000, I think 2013 or 2014. Um, anyway, when I joined, that's when they started opening their doors to foreign students. Okay, because other medical schools actually have been doing it for a long time. All right, so they decided, okay, let's welcome foreign students. So the first batch of foreign medical students actually graduated in 2019. All right, 2019, 2020, 2019. All right, and there were only 40 students in that class. That's why they were very manageable. It's very easy to manage them. And of course, we knew everybody in the class. And in fact, I would call this my favorite batch, okay? Because I was, kind of close to them. And a lot of them were, several of them were actually very smart, okay? And again, they graduated in 2019, I think, if I remember right. But anyway, um, they performed well, okay, in the FMGE. Um, the number one, well, a lot of them actually scored above 200 in the FMGE, so we were happy, okay. And although none of them was included in the top 10. All right, and then the second batch that took the FMGE, uh, well, some of them passed, some of them did not. Okay, but anyway, we also like that batch. Okay, some of them were really smart. In fact, a lot of them are now studying in preparation for USMLE. All right, and USMLE, and then PLAB, and then some other exams. I think Australian examination. But anyway, now the third batch. This is really the one that we were surprised with. Okay, because we got the top one, the number one. Okay, and then 5 others were in the top 10. And not only that, a lot of them actually scored above 200 in the exam. So we are very happy because, first of all, this is only our third time, okay, to field our graduates for the FMGE. Okay, and it was a very, I would say, surprising, and at the same time, well, I want to say that we were surprised, and at the same time, not really surprised. And the reason for that is this batch, actually, there were several of them that were really good. Okay, I'm telling you that. Um, Me personally, I found them very smart. Okay, I found them very disciplined. Of course, I'm not saying not all of them, right? Of course, there's always that some students who are not quite with it. But anyway, so when the results came out just a few months ago, okay, we're very happy because, I mean, number one spot, okay, this guy, Shubham Saket, he's not only smart, he's really disciplined and, good behavior, very good student. And then, of course, the others that made it to the top 10 are also the same. They're also smart. Me, especially me, I'm very, very particular in terms of, the way students um, develop their critical thinking. Okay? Because in AMA School of Medicine, we actually emphasize clinical correlations, clinical aspects, etc., etc. We don't just force students to memorize because that I think that's a problem globally, right? A lot of students or medical graduates may know the different branches of the trigeminal nerve, the different lobes of the brain, but they don't really know how to correlate. Okay, that's actually the thrust of our curriculum. Okay? In fact, we don't have the traditional curriculum of other medical schools or most medical schools in the Philippines where they only have three major subjects in the first year: anatomy, biochemistry, physiology, okay, and then some minor subjects. But here in our medical school, we are actually organ system based, meaning that our subjects are actually modules, and each module is actually on a particular organ system. For example, there is musculoskeletal system module, there is cardiovascular system module, there is nervous system module, etc., etc. Okay, so I think, in our opinion, okay, that actually works because, for example, if you are studying only the nervous system for this particular time, it's going to be a lot easier for you to correlate. Okay, you will understand the biochemistry of the nervous system. You will understand the physiology of the nervous system. You will understand the anatomy of the nervous system or neuroanatomy, and you will be able to correlate all of them together instead of the traditional curriculum where, for example, for this week or this month, they will study in anatomy, they will study musculoskeletal system, but in biochemistry, they will study the hematology. And then in physiology, they will study the renal system. So it becomes confusing. And at the same time, when they proceed to the next module, then, there will be a change in the organ systems again. Whereas in our curriculum, which is called the problem-based learning curriculum, okay, for this month, we will study nervous system only. So it's a lot easier to integrate everything. And I think that helps because, we were able to train our students in terms of how to correlate the different processes that occur in the human body, and at the same time, how to correlate these, okay, for example, anatomical structures in the clinical aspect. Okay, so our training, basically the way we train our students is we emphasize skills in clinical aspect. Okay, because we always believe, or me personally, I've always believed that grades are just grades. Even if you get high grades, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to become successful when you become a doctor. On the other hand, even though you may be failing in some of your grades or some of your exams, okay, you might end up becoming the most successful physician in your state, in your province, in your area, in your country. So again, having that in our mind, we try to emphasize that to the students. That of course, we need to study. That's a given. The medical school is difficult. Okay, there's no such thing as easy medical school. If there's someone who's going to say, "Yeah, medical school is easy," then that person is lying. Okay, because it's really difficult. Let's face it. This is the ultimate. You're studying the human body, cell to cell, cell by cell. Okay, so it's really difficult. But okay, again, if you are going to train your students, okay, in such a way that they know how to correlate and use this basic knowledge, okay, into clinical applications, then there's no problem. They will ace any examination. Okay, when board exam or whatever, they might go to the US, take the USMLE. I'm sure they're going to pass, and not only pass, they're going to get high marks. Okay, so that is our emphasis. Actually, we focus mainly on clinical aspects of every uh, field or discipline in medicine. Okay, for example, OB-GYN, we don't just ask them to memorize. We actually emphasize the clinical aspects. Okay, and I think really, again, this is really the reason why a lot of our graduates, in the most recent FMGE, that's really the reason why they performed very well. Okay, of course, I'm not saying that all of them did well, because that's not true. Okay, of course, there's always those students who will fail, but ultimately, it is the student who will determine whether he will pass or not. Ultimately, even if you went to the best medical school, even if you had the best books, even if you had all the support that you can get, all right, ultimately it's the student that will determine whether he or she will pass. Okay, so we're just behind them. We try to be supportive. Okay, me personally, students contact me if they have any questions or anything. Okay, and actually that's my job, being the assistant dean or the vice dean of the AMA School of Medicine. Okay, we try to attend to the needs of the students. Okay, and what else can I tell you? Unfortunately, we are all affected by the pandemic. Okay, so now a lot of things have changed actually, but we're trying our best to compensate for that problem. Okay. Anyway, I think that's about it for now. But if you have any questions to ask me, then it's okay.
Please tell how we can take admission in MBBS first year, and what are the salient features of your university?
I can barely hear you. What did you say? What did you ask?
I'm asking the salient features of your university and how we can take admission and what is the fee structure.
Okay. Well, some of your questions actually I cannot answer you, but of course, if you have an agent, then your
You
agent
have
will be able
other
to
team
answer your
members,
question.
sir. I'm sure there are other team members who from AMA, somebody who would like to answer. If Dr. Rabin could do that, else I will inform Mr. MS Chauhan that the whole procedure to start your application is going to be that you will have to first file your application. Initially, right now we are already we have started the applications. Yes, if Naveenji, you would like to answer, then that will be great. If you've raised your hand, if you would like to answer, he's also from the AMA team only. Naveenji, would you like to take the opportunity to answer, please?
No, ma'am. I wanted to have some discussion with the dean, sir. I raised my hand not to answer, but to ask something. I'm very sorry.
All right, no issues, no issues. Okay, so yes, of course, the whole procedure, it has already started for the application. All you need to do is just probably just pay the initial amount, that's a 10,000 rupees, and आपको अपने documents submit करने होंगे, and with those documents एक pre acceptance letter आपको मिल जाएगा. And if that case, if you are having एक चांस है बच्चे के लिए, अगर बच्चे का इंडिया में नेम आ जाता है या आप इंडिया में ही उसके एडमिशन कराना चाहते हैं, so you can show your admission letter from India and you can take that pre-acceptance letter back, and we'll refund the 10,000 rupees back to you. That is the initial procedure. Plus regarding the MS चौहान जी, जो आपने फी स्ट्रक्चर से रिगार्डिंग पूछा है, उसका जवाब आपको काउंसलर्स जो है वो एक हमारा जो फीस स्ट्रक्चर है वो सेंड कर देंगे, जिसके थ्रू आप पता कर सकते हैं कि आमा का कितना टोटल फीस लगता है, which is in dollars. आपको फीस स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो सेंड कर दिया जाएगा आपके स्क्रीन, आपके व्हाट्सएप के ऊपर बाय द कंसर्न काउंसलर.
Okay.
जी. Regarding, there's another one. Harish is asking that how much of cutoff last year, how much cutoff last year of AMA school? Cutoff for what, Harish? If you please could specify, is it a cutoff for I mean the NEET you are asking or what? I mean, please थोड़ा specify कर दीजिए किसका cut off पूछ रहे हैं आप? Joy Sarkar, I want to know what is the procedure to take admission for Bangladeshi students. So Bangladeshi students के लिए admission procedure is the same as what we have for the Indian students. The only thing is that the passport and the other documentation are verified. पहले हम उनकी proper verification करते हैं documents की process करने से पहले, and then you can just drop in your amount and your other documentation, fill up the application form, and you can proceed. Eligibility is going to be a 60% in your PCB, that is physics, chemistry and biology in the 12th standard. उसके अलावा जो आपको देना होगा वो होगा आपका नीट क्वालिफिकेशन. हरीश, आई एम गोइंग टू आंसर टू योर क्वेश्चन. नीट क्वालिफिकेशन का मतलब है you need to just get a qualifying score of 150 above right now for your this year, expecting 150 plus marks in your NEET out of 720.
One more question I can
Yes, sir.
ask you. ये जो MCI का टेस्ट होता है ना इंडिया में, कंप्लीशन ऑफ MBBS,
जी सर,
तो उसके लिए क्या कुछ है, मतलब MCI टेस्ट देना जरूरी है, नहीं है, क्या है?
सर ये MCI की जो स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट है उसको कहा जाता है अब से नेक्स्ट एग्जाम, नेशनल एग्जिट टेस्ट. इस टेस्ट को अब से मैंडेटरी है क्योंकि वो लाइसेंसिंग एग्जाम है, तो चाहे वो इंडिया में पढ़ रहा बच्चा हो या फिर वो अब्रॉड से पढ़ रहा बच्चा हो, उसको ये एग्जामिनेशन को क्लियर करना ही पड़ता है सर. चाहे वो कहीं से भी पढ़ रहा हो, उसको ये एग्जाम को क्लियर करना ही पड़ेगा, बिकॉज ये मैंडेटरी एग्जाम है. एंड सबसे अच्छी खासियत अब्रॉड की यूनिवर्सिटीज की ये है कि वो अपने खुद के कॉलेज या इंस्टीट्यूट में या यूनिवर्सिटी में इवनिंग क्लासेस में बच्चों को MCI की कोचिंग भी प्रोवाइड कराते हैं. तो ये एक एड ऑन एडवांटेज है बच्चों के लिए कि कल को बच्चा यहाँ इंडिया आने के बाद अलग से कोचिंग नहीं लेता, उसको पूरे 6 साल इवनिंग क्लासेस के थ्रू प्रॉपर कोचिंग प्रोवाइड करी जाती है फॉर MCI, ताकि वो MCI को क्लियर कर सके.
इसका ड्यूरेशन जो है 6 ईयर है?
जी सर, 5 साल 8 महीने होता है, जिसमें 4 साल 8 महीने MBBS है और 1 साल की इंटर्नशिप है जो 100% इंडिया में वैलिड है.
इंडिया में नहीं कर सकते आके?
अगर चाहे तो कर सकते हैं, बच्चे की चॉइस है. अगर वहां करना चाहे वहां करें, यहाँ करना चाहे यहाँ कर सकते हैं सर. Naveen ji, if you want to ask anything, you are free to ask, please.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. First of all, sincere gratitude to Ronaldo, sir. He took out some time to enlighten us on his institute. Sincere gratitude, sir. Very good evening. How are you? Am I audible, sir?
Ronaldo, sir, he is addressing to you, please.
Yeah, okay. So the specific question is what? Say that again. I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry. First of all, sincere gratitude towards
Thank you.
You took out some time and enlightening us here on this session. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. No problem.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know if a candidate gets into a BS course in month of October. Okay. So what will be the timeline for a BS course? Will it be 1.5 years exactly?
Okay, we're talking about BS.
Pre-MD course.
Yes. Okay. What's your question?
The BS psychology course.
Okay. What about?
What will be the timeline? What will be the tenure?
Timeline.
The duration.
Okay, timeline. Here's the thing. I represent School of Medicine. The pre-med, the BS psychology is under a different college actually.
Okay.
College of Arts and Sciences.
Correct.
Unfortunately, I cannot give you details, but what I know is that it would take them 2 years, right?
Okay.
And then after 2 years, they proceed to the School of Medicine to study medicine.
Great. Thank you, sir.
So in other words, it's like a total of 6 years, I think, right?
Yeah.
So 2 years, 2 years in pre-med, and then 4 years with us.
Yeah, as Madam told, it is 5-year 8-month course. As Ma'am has already said it to addressing Chauhan sir. So yes, you are correct. Fine, sir. Thank you. God bless you.
All right.
One more question, that you are providing admission in Philippines only, or you can in other
So we are dealing not just in Philippines, हमारे पास यूक्रेन, रशिया, मॉरिशस, कजाकिस्तान, किर्गिस्तान, काफी सारी कंट्रीज हैं. You can get in touch with the concerned counselor and जिनके थ्रू आप आए हैं, मे बी मिस जूली और मिस नेहा, उनके टच में रहेंगे तो हम आपको साथ साथ we can have a one-on-one counseling with you people.
Okay.
Ji. There's a question from Mr. Joy. I think there's something from him. Sir, would you like to take this question, Mr. Ronaldo?
Yes.
It says that BS course duration 2 years, MD course duration 4 years, internship 1 year. Is it?
Well, okay. Here's the thing. For Filipino students, the schools of medicine in the Philippines are different in such, I mean, in such a manner where that some schools, they have 5 years complete. So that includes internship already. So basically, the first 3 years is classroom. All right, first 3 years is classroom, of course, with additional hospital exposure, clinic exposure, or whatsoever. Right, and then the 4th year is actually what we call clerkship. All right, clerkship is hospital-based already. All right. However, from time to time, we would ask them to come to the school because we will, we hold seminars or meetings or whatever, but they are mainly hospital-based already in their 4th year. And that's again called clerkship. Now, after that, they graduate and then they go. Okay. Now, the Filipinos will find, a hospital to do their internship in. Because in our country, here in the Philippines, before we can sit for the board exam, we have to have internship first. Okay, so they have to, even though they have graduated already from our school, they are still required, to take a 1 year of internship before they can apply for the board exam. Right. So for our foreign students, after they graduate, they leave already. Okay, and then they go back to their countries, and then it's up to them what they want to do. And like I said, for India, a lot of them actually would take the FMGE.
Right, sir. The FMGE, that's the Foreign Medical Graduates Examination, that shall now be called as the next, that is the National Exit Test. Is there anybody else who has any other question to sir or to any of us? Please feel free to answer the question, please.
Ma'am, if you do not mind, I'm very sorry.
Please, sir.
Yeah. Ronaldo, sir, how many Indian students are right there at the campus, sir?
Oh, how many currently? How many Indian students do we have?
Yes.
Okay, well, I don't have the exact number.
No, not the exact number.
Right. Okay, I don't have the exact number, but especially after the pandemic, with the pandemic, we just work from home, right? So basically, we don't have the exact. I cannot give you the exact number, but more or less, we have 1,500 students, and majority are Indian students.
Great, sir. I heartily congratulate you on this.
Yes, majority of them are from India, and I mean, one thing I like about Indian students, is that they're respectful. A lot of them, they know how to respect their teachers, and we do like that. We are not, or at least me personally, I don't put a wall between me and the student. Of course, there should always be, some kind of a separation between the students and the teachers. But in our medical school, we entertain their questions. If they have any concerns, they can call us, let us know. They can enter the faculty room, because I heard that in some countries they cannot even go to the dean's office. They don't even see their dean, but that's not the case in our medical school. They can go to the dean, they can talk to the dean, they can email us, including the dean, and that's not a problem.
Highly appreciated, sir.
Yes.
So we do have another question that says that what is the fee structure for ARMA University? So the fee structure is going to be somewhere around 15 lakhs for your tuition fees, and the hostel and your food expenses per month is going to be somewhere around 12,000 to 14,000 rupees per month. So with this, your expenditure shall not increase more than 28 to 30 lakhs for your entire 5 years, 8 months of program. And the best part is because with Philippines आपको सबसे अच्छा फायदा ये मिलेगा कि you are getting an exposure to the BS biology. Directly आप BS biology कर रहे हैं, and lot of students, they feel a lot of comfort. Am I right, Ronaldo sir? There is a lot of comfort when they get to study the BS biology subject in the from the very first year. तो मैंने खुद ने to our students who have been here and to other places in Philippines, I have seen how confident and कितने change मैंने उन बच्चों में देखा है after the BS biology in comparison to what they study in India. So I myself recommend that you should go for Philippines, because Philippines has got the biggest advantage of giving you the first year as BS biology. Sir, anything you would like to elaborate about NMAT? Because lot of my counseling sessions, I get questions for NMAT.
Okay, in terms of NMAT, okay, medical schools have their own policies. All right. So in other words, there's no one specific score that all medical schools follow. All right. So some medical schools, would set the minimum requirement to 20%, okay, 40%, 60, whatever, 90. But actually, what the NMAT people say is that 40%, 40, is pretty much the standard. Okay, standard meaning they say that this is really 40% is really what they consider as acceptable. Meaning, if a student, a pre-med student, gets a score of 40%, it means that they are prepared to face the challenges of, the difficulty of medical school. Because it requires maturity, it requires some basic smartness, okay, in your mind. You must have a little bit of intellectual capacity. Now, of course, because of the pandemic, okay, the NMAT people basically waived the requirement, which means that, okay, some of the students, they can still be accepted even though they don't have NMAT yet. Okay, and then of course they will be required to take it on another day or whatever, but they can already enter the medical school. All right, and again, that's I think, we don't know the exact reason, but I think it's the humanitarian reason. Okay, on the part of the NMAT people, that they say, we are in a very difficult time. Everybody in the world is affected, so everybody cannot prepare and study for the NMAT. So let's waive that. They can enter medical school, okay, even though they don't have NMAT yet. But of course, later on, they will be required to take it. Okay, all right. That's what I know. Yes.
Vaishali, do you have any question to put up? Please, you've raised your hand. Vaishali, anything from your side?
Hi, good evening. Just wanted to ask about what do you actually mean by BS biology, and could you please little elaborate on this, and what is the benefit of doing this as compared to the normal MBBS doing from any other country or maybe from India?
Okay, is that a question for me?
Absolutely, sir, you can take it.
Okay. Actually, what we have, our pre-med course is BS psychology. All right. We are, or at least AMA was thinking of putting up other preparatory courses, such as, again, biology or zoology, the study of animals, etc., etc. But the reality is, anybody can actually apply for medical school as long as they have a baccalaureate degree. Whatever course it is, okay, you can apply, and as long as you take the NMAT and you have good grades and you do well in the interview, then you will be accepted. Okay. Psychology is also good because they already have biology subjects, actually several of them. Okay, and by the time they enter the School of Medicine, more or less they are prepared because they have studied at least even the most basic, parts of the human body. So it's, it becomes easier for us because we don't have to explain everything in detail because more or less they're prepared. Okay, our psychology students actually do well. Okay, well, that's the truth. Actually, the truth is, if we are going to compare the students who did their BS psychology in AMA, okay, compared to students who did theirs outside, generally, I'm talking about generally, okay. I don't wanna I don't wanna make it official. But from what I've seen, those who did their BS psychology in our school do better. Okay, I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's if there's some truth to it. Okay, but that's what I have observed. Okay, it could be because they are more confident, maybe. I don't know. Okay, because they've been with us for 2 years before entering the medical school. Of course, they are in a separate building because the School of Medicine is totally separate from the College of Arts and Sciences.
I hope, Vishali, that answers to your question. If you round in anything more,
I am so sorry, but I think my question was that what is the benefit of BS biology? Is it something that is in addition to MBBS, or it is include the entire package includes BS biology as well as MBBS training? Yeah.
Right. So I think Ronaldo, sir, you could take over the benefits. I'll just explain her what the whole scenario for Philippines is. The very first year, 8 months, is going to be your BS biology, which in India we call as pre-medical. So here the emphasis is going to be on BS biology, and post to that, you will be getting into the medical. And then from the 4th and 5th year, you have your clinicals, and then is the 1 year of internship that the child has to do. So this is a complete package that is 5 years, 8 months. From here, Ronaldo sir, if you could please explain about what is the benefit of doing BS biology in comparison to what in India we do as pre-medical.
Well, okay. For Filipino students, okay, we are required to take 4 years of BS degree. All right, BS biology, BS psychology, or whatever, 4 to 5 years. Okay, because some pre-med courses are 5 years. Like for example, physical therapy, right? That's 5 years, or industrial pharmacy, that's 5 years, right? And then after we graduate from that college, then we can enter medicine already. Now, of course, with the foreign students, it's a little bit different because you are from a country where you have MBBS. Now, the MBBS that you have, okay, we do have an equivalent of that here in the Philippines, where they only do 2 years of pre-med and then they proceed to medicine for 4 years or 5 years. Okay, but only a few medical schools offer that particular program where they only have to spend 2 years in pre-med. Okay, but now in terms of advantage, I don't know how to answer that question because I don't know exactly how your MBBS is in India. Okay, like how many years or what kind of courses you study, etc., etc. But the 2 years of preparation, again, like I said, we feel or I feel that it's good, it's enough. Okay, because some of our best graduates actually did their BS psychology in our AMA school, and they do well. And these are the top graduates of our school.
Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for enlightening us with this.
Vishali, I have one point here more to add to what Ronaldo sir said is very specific that, with BS biology or with BS psychology, you get a lot of concentration and focus to what, with MBBS, we can get a little advantage for. Not that pre-medical is going to consist of course, variety of other topics as well. But in comparison to that, we have a more focused approach when we look at the BS psychology or BS biology perspective for the Philippines education pattern. That this is what I have got the response from the students that ma'am, focus thoda zyada ho jata hai whenever we study BS psychology or BS biology because our focus is much more there. So maybe this could be one of another point that I could add on to what Ronaldo sir said, This is what I have got a feedback from our students who are already there in the universities.
Okay, okay. And just one more little query. What about India? India, we don't do this pre-med or any BS psychology or BS biology.
No, no. We
So
don't.
the entire course in India will last for how long? What is the duration?
In India, the course is going to be 4 years, 8 months.
Okay, okay. And then the internship, right?
Yes, yes.
And in Philippines, including internship, it is 5 years, 8 months, or it is excluding?
It is including.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else who has any point to ask, any question? Anybody else has any question? Is there any other point? Yes. If anyone has any other point, great. Or else, I think we can just probably wind up. Dr. Ronaldo, thank you so much for your precious time. I am so obliged, and thank you so very much for coming and enlightening us with such great knowledge and information. All our parents, they are feeling so blessed to have you amongst us for this webinar. Thank you so very much. And really, thank you so much once again from the entire Astron family. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you all, dear parents and students, for joining our webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. It was really nice to have you all on board for a very informative webinar with Dr. Ronaldo. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.